Greetings, all greetings. Look at that sky. Morning sky before. Wow.
Yeah, darling, I prefer the food. I'll prepare the
Uh-oh. We're in the neighborhood. Oh, I know what they're doing. Machine here puts your cable underground. Down the road there, they're beginning. Yeah. when they were building the neighborhood. New house going up. No. Anyway, when they were building the neighborhood, they didn't put down underground cable, so now I have to go do it. Now all the power cables are going underground instead of they have a space, an area in the back of the house where the power company bring their trucks to work on the cables when there's an issue. Oh, it's quiet. Used to be this time in the morning. There'll be vehicles going out of the neighborhood, people going to work. Now it appears that's not the case. Oh, retirees, I guess, no, living in the neighborhood. This is the Florida of old. And Miccosukee. Lived on the land. This is the new Florida. Water drained, raised up 2 meters, and building. Things are changing. Whether you like it or not. And now The change is becoming more pronounced. They were saying we will own nothing and be happy. Fiber Pro Services. Putting down fiber, getting ready for automation. The funny thing is, they don't have the power grid to handle this operation. What is that? Looks like cassava. Wow. They don't have the power grid to handle this automation. Oh, you go ahead. Thank you. But guess who does? All the rest of the world does. The Europeans and Americans don't have it, but all the rest of the world has it. And guess what's happening? Now the two, the Caucasian, the European, I call himself the European, they're fighting for what the Dutch Prime Minister says, the Western way of life. They have to protect it. And what is that? We ruled over everybody. We cannot let people be free. If they become free, we are in trouble. And indeed, in my opinion, that's a fact. There was a time when I thought that, we should forgive and forget. When I say forgive and forget, I don't mean forget what was done to our forefathers. That can never be forgotten. But you hope that they will say, you know what, we did wrong. And yes, it was a horrible thing. We're going to repair this situation, bring you into the society. Black people, we're going to be equal now. We share the resources equally because the earth has enough to go around to be shared with all. You want to build your own? Go ahead and build it. We'll help you build it. When I see that happening, and as a younger man, I expected that to happen. Because we had 1965, 1963, 1960. Right here in Florida, Rosewood and other Homestead, Florida, other areas. Said, look, we gotta change this. Can't be doing this anymore. And I thought, when Martin said, I have a dream, that they were going to come up and say, yes, you're right. It needs to be changed. But they didn't. And when that happened, my forgiveness kind of like So you know what? We can't do this. Now I don't want their speeches about we did wrong and let's start anew. It's too late for that now. And as I grew from a child to an adult and began to learn the real story, I was taught all that was hidden from my parents that they forgot to pass down from generation to generation in Africa now. That's what got us in the trouble that we got into. We were given, the law says you will pass this information down to your children and to your children's children. And we didn't. All the rulers became greedy. And then lost it all. The Africans who were born in Africa have this belief that they have something, good morning, that they have something that we don't have. We who live in the West and America. It's funny though that they will leave Africa to escape what they have or what they claim to have and we don't have, and come to the West. When I see that, I often have to laugh. And the funny thing is, when they come, most of them, they don't go back. They will send home some money, and now, from what I'm seeing, they're all complaining about having to send home some money. But they're not going back. And that's exactly what the leaders did to us now. They put us on a ship and sent us out. Now those Africans are selling their land to get their children out. They're not planting the land to grow food and make themselves self-sufficient in food, and then self-sufficient in manufacturing using what they have in the land, the gold. Somebody else is coming and digging it out and making stuff with it that the Africans that they sending home money for to live on, to buy. Everything, almost everything you see in Africa comes from abroad. Nigeria pumps out oil. It goes to Europe somewhere, or Morocco, or some other country. Be turned into fuel, diesel, petrol, fuel that they burn in their lamps, and sent back to Nigeria. Imagine that now. All the Nigerians that could build Nigeria and turn it into something that will challenge the European Caucasian, they sold that land that could be used for to feed everybody. In some cases, to Arab or the same European. I've seen it myself. I drive through the village every day. Some little African kid call me Tubab or Indian. But they're not building something. There are other people coming into Africa and building it. And when I say they, I don't mean all Africans now. I've seen some young geniuses at work, what we call geniuses now. I see little kids, man. 5, 6, 12, 15. Make things using materials that were thrown away, brought from Europe. And when they were of no use to the people who brought it from Europe, throw it out. This little kid's come along, pick it up, and create something totally new, different. And the government's, most of them are not stepping in and say, hey, let's build a place where these kids can come and they can teach other kids. And those kids will go back to their village and build these same things. Government is not doing that. Government, in some cases, killing the kids, taking the plans, how to do it, and selling it to the Europeans. The Europeans take it back home and bury it. Land is a foundation upon which everything else is built. It's a foundation. You build your house on it to secure your safety. You grow your food on it to feed yourself and your family. And you take the raw materials out of the ground, whether it be iron, gold, or whatever. But you're building with that. So the earth gives you, and in most cases, the African sells his, not keep it. So I hope you're seeing why our fathers went into slavery. The European didn't just come in and take over. They were invited in. And they saw more value in what we had. Not only what we had, but our bodies. They made money off our bodies. Our life and death. Than was ever made before in the history of the planet. I'm going from their history now. If you look at their numbers, they made what today would be trillions of dollars from the sale of us, Africa. And then they turned to the land, commoditized everything. Commoditized everything. Shipped it out across the world. to build in their land now, not in Africa, what they wanted. And then they shamed the African. He was so ashamed that he had to get out of Africa. So ashamed that now he want to get out of Africa and go to wherever the things that he want is coming from. Yes, today it's about me shaming you. I'm telling you right now, up front. Now, my forefathers they got here and suddenly they discovered, we were wrong. Our fathers were wrong. We got to change it. And they began to teach. You got people like Dr. Ben, Eric Williams, even Martin Luther King began to wake up and teach facts, the truth. Malcolm X, as soon as he started traveling, he discovered reality. He had one part of the puzzle that he got in America. And then he started traveling and got the other pieces of the puzzle. And could no longer accept his mind is in war, at war with itself. And at war with his surroundings, the people who he saw doing this foolishness. And there are many other people, Patrice Lumumba. The youngest brother, Sankara. And guess what happened to them? Don't want it to be taught. That which was hidden will be revealed. It's not that we are learning more now, as some people will want you to say, oh, the Bible says in the end, knowledge will be increased. No, the knowledge is always there. Knowledge is like a signal from a radio station. Once it's broadcasted, it travels throughout the universe. It may take time to get where it's going to get, to your planet, to your galaxy, and to your rabbits, and to your solar system and your planet, but it will get there. And it comes back around in cycles. That's the way knowledge is. Our forefathers learned that. And so they say, since our life cycle is so short, we have to pass it on from children of one generation to the children of the next generation. If you fail to do it, you will be enslaved. Boom. We are enslaved. Our forefathers, they were the beginning. And now, 2,000 years later, we're coming to the end of that time. And if you believe that it can't happen again, we can go into another 2,000-year cycle. And I'm telling you, it didn't start with the Portuguese and Spanish coming into America, coming into Africa, and then bringing the slaves to Americas. 2,000 years ago. And there's always a break, a time when in between that upheaval ends, and the other time when the calm comes. You know, it's like the hurricane. You got the hurricane on one side, the eye passes over and there's that calm, and then the hurricane on the other side. Right now, people are thinking that things are bad, but we're really in that calm before the other side of the hurricane strikes. Don't believe me? That's your business. Your choice. You may not comprehend what I'm saying. In that case, you got to search and see what I'm talking about. Look at history. 2,000 years ago, they call it AD and CE now. You see the hurricanes at two ends? And then in the middle. And then 1,000 years ago, it was like this time they called it Dark Ages. And they want to tell you that the Dark Ages, nothing happened. That's a bunch of fooey. But anyway, we're not talking about that. We're talking about us today. What happened to us? Why it happened? And now the opportunity to change it. And what will happen if we don't change it? Yesterday I was watching a video from Bags family in Gambia. Shout out to Bags. They're saying that they created a community. Now I'm happy to see that. Seriously. I'm happy to see that. Because, I mean, we can see what's going to happen if we don't have that. I start out by saying, look, it's been proven through history. 20%. There's a rule of 20%. There's 20% who is going to be with you. 20% who is going to absolutely be against you. And then there's 60% in the middle. That whichever side, they're just going to go along with it. They're almost like asleep. They wake up in the morning, go to work, read their Bible, don't understand a word that it says, and believe what the preacher says it says. The preacher is the man who is against you. I am telling you, you may hate me for that, saying that, but your preacher is against you. He's preaching your enslavement because it brings him money. And in the past, power. See, during slavery, the black preacher was the one who knew all the black families, and the Caucasian man would go to him and say, look, you better tell your people to do so and so and so. And he'll find a passage in the Bible to say, he said, God said this. Serve your master. Don't complain. You're gonna get yours when you die and go to heaven. You're gonna get yours when you die and go to heaven. Then your child will come along and pick up where you left off, and he's teaching the same thing to your child. He teaches to his children, son, the white man put us in charge of these niggers. And I didn't use that word lightly. You understand? Because that's what we were called. And people gotta understand how wicked it was. The preacher is telling his son that so that his son will take his place. And that my son will take my place. Work till he's killed or he dies. Anyway, we as I was saying, that 20% bags, you gotta bring them together. You have to. Otherwise, when this stuff, this SHIT comes down, and you are seeing it coming, and you're preparing. But many of our brothers in Africa don't see it. I heard some of them say, and I keep repeating this, keep my head down and I'm okay. There were lots of people in Rwanda who were keeping their head, in Jamaica they said, them head down. Good morning. People in Cameroon who kept their head down. Sudan who kept their head down. Libya who kept their head down. Syria who kept their head down. And if you're watching the news in Doha, they were keeping their head down. They were pretending to be peacemakers. And guess what happened to them? The evil came in and bombed their land and said, if you don't get rid of the terrorists, the ones who we say are terrorists, we're gonna come and get you. Imagine that. You're trying to help them, trying to be a peacemaker. And guess what they're doing to you? Nevertheless, bags are seeing it and trying to prepare you. Those of you who listen to my word, wherever you are, better start gathering the people together. That time, imagine this, right? That time Like I said, the African is gonna need you because he don't grow food. And if he does grow a little bit of food, it's during the rainy season. You guys are watching bags and you're singing praises. You say, oh, looking so good. You are not doing it. They are doing it. And those Africans that they feed in the time of trouble say, hey, look, we got to protect this, otherwise we don't have any place to go. We don't have any food. We got to protect this. So it's up to you. Create your own, join in the community, or the alternatives. All across Africa, young people are rising up, demanding. They're looking at things from the past and saying, no, 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 you're not accepting that. Shoot us. Go ahead. Kenyans are saying, go ahead and kill us. I heard Gambians say that. Go ahead and kill us. We are not going to sit down. These are young people now, 15, 16, 18, 20 years old. You may not want to believe it. You got your compound with your pool. I can't tell you, how to live your life. Those of you who are coming to Africa, make sure you prepare for it. You think you're leaving America because things are falling apart there. It ain't that easy in Africa. When you come, you bring the equipment to work on your plot of land. Don't buy a 2020 and build a house on it. That spread the whole land. Buy a 50-50, plant yourself a garden. Bring the equipment that you're going to need to work on that garden. The seeds. There are no seeds in Africa. When I say no seeds, it's difficult to find what you want to eat. You go to Senegambia and Gambia, Accra, Kumasi, Lagos, what you're going to find is imported from Europe. In Europe, watch what's going on in Holland with the farming. Significant portion of that used to be sent to Africa.